Let's come back to Germany then. And will the Gates Foundation getting money? What's going on?
This comes from parliamentary questions asked to the German government, not this time by Alternative for Germany members of parliament, but from Die Linke, the left, which has an anti-globalist wing. It's a very split party these days. So the Daily Sceptic comes along with the headline, Germany has partnered with Gates Foundation to the tune of billions of euros. The pseudonym here, Robert Kogon, is for a specialist somewhere in Europe. And this is the one to read first from the show notes, because Kogon points out that it is in fact a partnership. In other channels, on other platforms, it's been misreported, misunderstood, as if it was a bung of money just from Germany to the Gates Foundation or vice versa. But really, the public-private partnership is completely seamless here. The trouble is that if you go to this source document, which comes from Transparenztest, a German site wishing transparency, they first picked up on and popularized the fact that these parliamentary questions had been asked. But sadly, the first US reporting, the first reporting in English, made the mistake of understanding Milliarden Euro as millions of euros, and reported scandal. Nearly 4 million euros has been given by the German taxpayer to the Bill Gates Foundation. No, Milliard means billion. I have the full website here in front of me, and I won't read it all. But the first parliamentary question was replied to giving a table, which if you go to this German page on the show notes, you will find that even if you can't read German or don't want to use a search translation engine, you'll find sharp, clear tables, mostly in English, of what's been given. The first question was, what project are you currently funding with private organizations? And that was a cool 450 million euros, just shy of €500 million. And then the second question is the real shocker, asks the question the other way around. Which organizations and programs are you partnering with, partnering on with private organizations? Again, not personalizing it to Gates or the other ones that are mentioned, Gavi, Rockefeller, Britain's own Wellcome Trust, but they're all mentioned here. And the answer to that, if I find the figure here, is 3,365,781,847 euros. Also, question 9 is of interest, which is how many or what are the private organizations in which the federal German government has as a voting seat for these purposes? And they put an attachment together to answer that question. None of the big boys like Gates and Gavi have a German government person on the board. But it really is a question of money flowing together, because of the 31 projects mentioned, 24 in this parliamentary reply were money solely going from the German government, German taxpayer, I should say, to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. No other private organizations were involved. But for the shocker, you go to this more populist website, Slay News, and you will see here that it's Bill Gates' population control programs. Just a glance at the website will show you that, of course, they're trying to take a particular populist angle here, but not, I would say, that's particularly wrong. They're talking here about there's an organization mentioned halfway down this page called Better Than Cash, which is an organization which is Gates funded, and the Germans are paying for it with their tax money. And that's for the Philippines. Whereas in Malawi, what they do with the German taxpayers' money that flows together with Gates' money, Gates has a lot of his own money put into this, is telling the Africans to stop having excess children.
Okay. Well, Debbie, let's come back to you then.